be a super short live because I am tired and I should have went to sleep a long time ago, but just now getting to bed. Um, but I just wanted to tap in about self-respect and how self-respect is directly tied to self-love. And if we can't advocate for ourselves and speak up for ourselves, it's going to be really hard to teach your body, to teach your mind, to teach your spirit that, hey, I actually care about you. If you're not protecting you, and I think that that's exactly what self-respect is you protecting yourself, protecting your ashe, protecting your spirit, protecting your innocence and your righteousness. And I think that when you don't protect yourself and you allow other people to harm you, what happens is that your spirit becomes tainted, and then you become bitter, you become upset, and then you don't have anything left to give. And so if you value it, you must protect that so that you can continue to have love in your heart, you can continue to have hope and peace and all the things, right? And I'll just give an example of, oftentimes like you can be in a relationship. I'm looking rough today. But I kind of like my hair kind of looking like wild, kind of messy. Anyway, um, like say you're in a relationship and a lot of times in relationships, people get out of relationships and they don't want to ever be in a relationship ever again. Or if they do end up being in a relationship, like say somebody cheated on them, they'll allow that to taint them and they will never be faithful to anyone else again. And it's like the other people that you're dealing with, they don't have nothing to do with the fact that that person hurt you. And so you shouldn't be making other people pay, and you shouldn't be making yourself pay for the fact that someone hurt you. And so to me, they win. If I'm in a relationship and I continue to be bitter after that relationship is over, then they win. If I choose to own my own healing and to own my wellness, and I choose to continue to love again and continue to um, hope again, um, to me that looks like a win. It's so easy to be hateful and be like, man, fuck this. I'm never trusting nobody with my heart again. I will never. But that changes you. If that's not who you were, if you weren't someone who didn't believe in love, who didn't believe in relationships, then that would be one thing. But if you go into a relationship and because of what that person did to you, now you're changed, you're a different person, and you're just literally like, I don't ever want to trust anybody else again. I don't ever want to be in any other relationship. They win. They win, and I think that that's really whack. And so I have been fighting. I have been fighting for hope, fighting for um, the desire to love again, and fighting for my freedom, and fighting for me being liberated and not being bitter. There are so many Black women, especially when you bring a child into this world, and the way that you imagined childbirth going and your family going, that really can take a toll on us women. And I'm sure men too, but I can only speak from my own experience. And my own experience is me as a Black woman birthing a child and the situation not being ideal, and then there being harm caused. And it really took everything in me not to become bitter. And I was bitter. I was bitter. There was a point in time where I was bitter, but I had to let it go. I had to let that go, and I can't allow that to consume me because then I lose. And I don't want to lose. I want to win. I want to I want to love again. I want to believe in love. I want to believe in romance. I want to believe that I'm worthy. I'm worthy of that. And so if I continue to be bitter, then that to me just shows that, oh, you're not worthy. You don't deserve to be in a loving relationship, and the relationship that destroyed you and crushed you and made you bitter, that's what you deserve to have over and over and over and over and over. If you don't stand up for yourself and say, hell no, hell no, that's not who I am. That's not what I deserve. I deserve everything that I want and more. So yeah, to me, self-respect is self-love. Respecting yourself enough to say, hell no, you're not gonna disrespect me. And it goes two ways. Like I'm thinking about it in the way of like, uh, you know, allowing yourself to love again, allowing yourself to have hope and to have faith and to believe in things and not be bitter and not allow circumstances to get you down and have you down or just change you as a person. I know that a lot of things can happen in life, and I think you know the resilience to continue to love and continue to hope and to continue to have faith in people, because it's really the people who just do some of the most shadiest shit to people who love. And like we know, hurt people. But at the end of the day, they may do some shady shit, and basically it's just really hard to get out of that. And then you think you're not worthy, and you're allowing that person's flaws or their fears to be projected onto you, and then you're taking that on. And then the other part of that is, oh, you not speaking up in certain situations, and you allowing um, people to walk over you or treat you in a way that you don't want to be treated. And because you just, can't control your emotions, or you just feel afraid to speak up for yourself, you continue to let people walk all over you. And eventually that will turn to bitterness as well, because you continue to let this person walk all over you and not give you the respect that you want and deserve. um and and that is something that we have to do. It's something that um I have struggled with, because I just hate I think because oftentimes I've been really indecisive about exactly what it is that I want to say or what I feel, and sometimes my feelings do not feel valid. Sometimes some of the things that I feel, I have been very unsure if my feelings were valid or not, because throughout my life I had been told over and over and over, like, you just, like, as a child, like, you need to just be quiet about that. You need to just let that go, or you need to, whatever, like, the thoughts that some of our parents put in our minds, or some of the elders or the older people in our family tell us. And so I really grew up having a hard time regulating my emotions. And once I started having emotions that were out of control, I didn't understand how to process them. And I didn't understand, like, girl, you just, like, about to start your cycle right now. You're not you're not as mad as you think, and things aren't as bad as you think. But I didn't know how to reel in the thoughts and make sense of them. And so I went through a lot of, like, ups and downs, emotional ups and downs. And so that made me be indecisive about talking to people and expressing some of the emotions. My son about to wake up. Expressing some of the emotions that I felt, because I didn't want people to, when I would say what I had on my mind, I didn't want people to judge me and be like, oh, she tripping. She saying stuff that don't even got nothing to do with this. Because, like I said, my emotions were all over the place, and I didn't understand how to process the emotions and how to understand, like, okay, Britt, like, y'all just got into it about this. You pulling up emotions from 10 years ago that you haven't resolved, and now you're bringing it into this current present day conversation and confrontation, which has it don't have nothing to do with that. And so that's what I mean by process, being able to process emotions, and like the fact that I was indecisive. And so my indecisiveness made me timid in speaking up and advocating for myself, because I knew that I was unpacking so many different um, experiences all at once. And I didn't want to basically seem crazy because I'm sitting up here talking about some shit that happened to me years and years ago. But what happens is it just keeps piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up, and you have all these emotions and you have all these things that are traumatic that you've never talked about to anybody. And so when somebody triggers one thing in you, you sit there and you go off and you know, go on a rant about some shit that don't even have nothing to do with the situation that you're in. And so I think it's really important, one, to have people that you can talk to, that you can vent to, and that because sometimes you don't necessarily need somebody to tell you like, oh, you're going through this, or this is what you're feeling, or this is why you're feeling. Sometimes you just need to be able to say it. You might just need to be able to just say it and just get it off your chest, and just allow the load to be lighter, to be lifted, right? And so um, it's really important to say it, to process. Talking about it is a big part of the process. And then also saying it to the people that harmed you, and being able to say it in a way where you're not giving them your power, but you're standing in your power and you're saying that, no, I don't like the way that you spoke to me. This is the way that I like to be spoken to. And I would appreciate it if, when we're moving forward, that you tread lightly, or you be careful about this particular thing. And I think it has been really hard for me to hold people accountable, because I just don't, for one, I don't necessarily want to feel like I need anything from anybody. Like, I don't need an apology from you. Like, basically, F you. Like, I don't want an apology. But what that does is, like I said, then it puts it all on me. So now I'm the person that's holding the weight of whatever just happened. And you get to walk off scot free. And you don't have to be held accountable. And you also probably don't give a damn, because you just got to vent and dump all of your whatever you had going on me, and I just have to carry it. I got to carry it like the bag lady. And so it's just really important to speak up for yourself and say, no, you harmed me. No, I did not like that. No, that I cannot. If you continue to treat me like that, you will not be around me, and you're not a safe person. And I just think it's really, really important to name that, and to not be afraid to name that, regardless of if somebody's feelings might get hurt, they might not like it, it might cause an argument. I'm in a space where we'll see, because at the end of the day, you only know that you're healed when you get into a situation that could possibly trigger you, and then once you get into that situation, you'll realize what you do need to actually work on. But I think that I have gotten to a point to where I am uh, I can control my emotions. And even when I'm having conversations that may kind of like, not be my favorite topic, or something that might trigger me, I've learned how to respond in a way that doesn't escalate the situation. And I'm able to think now and remember, like, Britt, do you want this to be a whole argument, or do you want something to actually be done, or do you want progress, and you want to resolve the situation? And also, it's a practice. Like, it's me practicing how to speak to someone. It's me practicing how to have conversations in a way where I'm not losing my cool, and that I'm actually communicating exactly what I want to happen. And to me, when you practice doing that, and you continue to do that over and over, you continue to advocate for yourself, um, eventually, it'll be just like clockwork. As soon as somebody say something, you're like, oh no, I actually don't like that. And it's not nothing emotional. It's not like, it's just, that's how you operate. And so that's what I'm working towards. Um, I'm not completely there yet. I'm getting better with it. I'm feeling confident that I am, like, I just, for instance, had a conversation today, and I feel like I handled myself very well. And so I'm just wanting to, I'm gonna just keep practicing. I'm gonna keep practicing how to advocate for myself, how to stand up for myself and say the things that are harming me, and not to say like, oh, you're hurting me, you're harming me, but really to check people and to let them know that I won't accept this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you know that you harm me. I'm going to let you know that you hurt me. Um, and it's just like, the same things, the same principles that I teach my child. I want him to advocate for himself. If somebody hurts him, or if, something happens to him, I want him to be able to say, I don't like that. Do not do that to me again. I will tell my mama. And I have to model that for him, because me telling my son that doesn't mean kids don't listen. I feel like kids watch. They watch what we do and they learn from what we do. So I want my son to see me sticking up for myself. If somebody disrespects me, I want him to see and know that his mom will cuss somebody the hell out behind me and him. And so, I hope that he's able to get that from me, and that I just continue to work on it. So I'm gonna just keep working on it. I'm gonna keep practicing speaking up for myself and telling people when they have wronged me and when they've disrespected me, in a way that is productive and that is not just a back and forth like argument, but it's actually helping the situation. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm about to go to bed. um I am super 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 tired. So yeah, that's my thoughts on self-respect, self-love. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope that y'all could tap in and hopefully join the conversation or contribute to the conversation, and just talk about some things or some instances where you might have had to advocate for yourself. So, all right. Thank you for joining this live. It will be posted and people can continue to, go back and listen and hopefully get something out of it that's helpful. All right. Good night, y'all. Peace and blessings.